Before we go on to elect the new chair, I would like members to join me in observing a minute's silence following the recent passing of Councillor Ray Dundon and former Councillor Joan Bell. They served as Councillor for Battlefield Ward from 2004 until 2006 and Camperdown Ward from 2007 and 2021. He also served as Cabinet Member for Finance and Resources from 2013 to 2021. Dawn served as Councillor for Monseaton Ward from 1994 to 2004 and Monseaton North from 2004 to 2012. She also carried out the role of Deputy Chair of the Council from 2006 to 2007 and Chair of the Council from 2007 to 2008. Could I now ask members to observe a minute's silence? Thank you. Item 1. Can I now ask invite nominations for the position of the Chair of the Council? Councillor Craven.
Thank you, Chair. It's my privilege and honour this evening to nominate my friend and colleague David Drummond to be Chair of the Council for the next year. I think those of us who are looking at the whole David and friend and colleague, along with the residents of the ward that he represents, would say that he's a man of his community who gets things done. And David is first to admit he's not one for lengthy speeches or glossy leaflets. If something's wrong, David just finds out what it is, and whether that's antisocial behaviour in the ward, whether it's fixing pavement, David will know about it, and he will work with the council and the community to get to fix it. Even if he has to do it himself, because those of us who've seen him on his highways and shovel snow on Seaton Hill Road in the midst of winter will know. It is unfortunate for those of us who have to get lifts off daily at times, because there will generally be a detour to go and look at a bin or a pothole, all the while with heavy metal playing in the background. Davey's also really involved in community groups across the ward. He's a great friend to the Scouts, to his Limits Islamic Society, who's instrumental in setting up Steve Stock in Monseaton, which raises money for some really good causes. And throughout the pandemic, he's been working with Sparks to deliver food parcels. To me, he's just an exemplar of a local councillor in what one should be, with his ability to work with people, and I think he'll be a brilliant ambassador for our area. On a personal level, I think Davey is also a constant source of support. He was absolutely great at showing me the ropes when I started, but even better, he used to make brilliant famous curries in a slow cooker while he did it. I can't think of anyone more perfect for this role, and it's just an honour to nominate Davey tonight. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Craig. Do you have a second there? Samuel?
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to second the nomination. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I'm just going to tell one little anecdote. One evening, 2 o'clock in the morning, it's thundering down with rain. The phone goes, it's Davey. Some flooding going on. Will you come and help me? So I did. Houses were under flooding, the water was rising, etc. So Davey immediately called in some favours from some of his friends in the fire service, got the water pumped away and sorted out the problem, and the issues were solved with residents who were there. He didn't hang about to try and take photographs, he didn't put a picture on the leaflet or anything like that, or point at a problem rather than actually sort it out. He sorted it out. It's in the nature of what Davey does. He's an excellent ambassador for what councillors should be, and literally an excellent example to all of us, and he's a great choice for chair of the council. I second the nomination. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Samuel. Do you have any further nominations for chair of the council? No. We'll go to the vote. Those in favour of Councillor Drummond, please show. Therefore, Councillor Drummond is duly elected as Chair of the Council.
Thank you very much, my colleagues, for the kind words. I'd just like to thank Wendy in these unprecedented times. 2 years as Chair, a month task for her, and I'd like to thank her for that. She's always worked for charities. Wendy will normally hand you flowers over there for it.
Thank you.
It's one of the ladies' agenda number 2. I invite nominations for the position of Deputy Chair, please. Councillor Early.
Thank you, Chair. Many congratulations upon your election as Chair. I hope you have an enjoyable and successful year in your role, and I'm sure that you will. It's my privilege to have the opportunity to nominate my fellow ward councillor, Pat Allen, for the position of Deputy Chair of the Council for the coming municipal year. Pat was re-elected earlier this month to serve for the 3rd term as a councillor for Bedford Ward, and I'm sure that all who have had the pleasure of working with will testify to the high level of dedication which he brings to her role as a ward councillor. Pat has a real passion for serving the people of North Tyneside in general and Bedford Ward in particular. She is dedicated to doing everything she can to resolve their problems and improve their lives. I have witnessed on many occasions how she will go above and beyond what is normally expected in order to do this, giving very generously of her time and expertise when doing so. Pat has a particular interest in promoting the interests of vulnerable young people in the borough, particularly those with SEND needs and unlooked children, which can be evidenced in her work as Deputy Chair for the Children Education Skills Committee and as a member of the Corporate Parenting Forum. As a lead member for these areas, I can assure you that she has no problem at all in letting me know when she has concerns about these parts of my portfolio. As anyone who has seen her at work, talking to residents and listening to their concerns will know, Pat has a natural ability to listen, to converse and to empathise with people of all ages and backgrounds, and to make almost instant connections with them. It is this ability to relate to people which I believe in particular will make an excellent Deputy Chair for Council. Whilst, of course, like all of us who are elected members, Pat is the political animal committed to the party and political group of which he is a member. As her daughter Judith once said, primarily she just wants to help people, and I can't think of a better quality for a Deputy Chair of Council to possess than that. Therefore, I would like to formally nominate Pat Allen for the position of Deputy Chair of Council. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Early. Have a second that? Councillor Donovan.
Thank you, Councillor Drummond. I also offer my congratulations to you on your election as Chair, and I hope that you and your consort have a really enjoyable year. I'm sure you will do. I'm absolutely delighted to accept Pat in the position of Deputy Chair of the Council. I've known Pat since she rejoined the Labour Party in 2010, and never wanted to be inside that, but immediately got involved in supporting me with door knocking, and I can see from her immediate rapport with residents that she'd be a brilliant councillor. I know Pat is a confident and articulate person, but she's also very humble. And it took me a while to persuade her that she'd do a great job and she should put herself forward for election. Well, Pat, I was right. As Peter said, elected for the first time 2 weeks ago with a majority of over 1,000, shows the residents of Benton continue to put their trust in her. Pat is absolutely committed to supporting the Benton residents and North Tyneside Council. Whatever she's working on, she's always done with enthusiasm, drive and determination. Pat, as residents will tell you, is very generous with her time and is always willing to go that extra mile. Her compassion in helping some of our residents with very difficult issues is absolutely amazing. And whilst working hard for residents, she's also a committee member and even campaigned when the number she sat on was reduced. And of course, she's also very passionate about her family. Judith, her daughter, who unfortunately isn't here tonight, but I know is watching on YouTube, and particularly her grandson Christopher, who holds a huge place in her heart. I know how much she's missed him during lockdown, but each week she spent time baking him brownies so that he doesn't forget his crown. Pat puts her whole heart into everything she does. She's an incredibly loyal friend and colleague, a highly respected member of this council, and I know she'll make an excellent deputy chair of the council and will be there to support Dave during his year as chair. I hope everybody in this chamber can support this nomination.
Thank you, Councillor. Are there any other nominations? I'll go to the vote. Those in favour of Councillor Oliver, please show of hands. Any that 48-10. Any against? Councillor Oliver is therefore elected Deputy Chair.
Could we invite Councillor Oliver to go on the next slide? Chairman and Deputy Chair now sign the oath of office.
Thank you very much, Councillor Oliver. Going to move on to full move to the vote. Apologies, your glasses keep steaming. Going to go on item agenda number 3, please. Would now like to invite Councillor Pickard to propose a vote of thanks to the retiring chair, which will be seconded by Councillor Carl Johnson.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I would first like to congratulate you on your appointment as Chair and hope that you and Julie have a successful and memorable year ahead. I've been a friend and a ward colleague with Wendy and Frank for a long time, and it seems a long time since I moved Wendy for Deputy Chair in 2018 and later in 2019 for Chair. I remember in 2018 Wendy had some trepidation to her ability to carry out the role, and I'm sure we'll all agree she's done an exceptional job and has been a credit to the Council and to the residents. The Chair has two main functions: one oversees the running of the business conducted in the Council chamber, and the other to be the civic representative of the Council. However, this year has been unprecedented, and her role as Chair has been a tale of two times. The first year the traditional role, and then the second year brought about by the COVID emergency. As Chair, Wendy showed her competence by controlling some challenging Council meetings, using her professionalism and at times firmness when that was required. All this while mastering the new protocols and technology required to carry out our remote meetings. When I first moved Wendy for office as Chair, I described her as a people person, someone who cared about those less advantaged than others, and as someone who is social, extremely friendly and approachable, but above all else she is passionate about our borough and its people. In carrying out her civic roles and her work for charity, she has admirably demonstrated these values. She has attended numerous events on behalf of the Council, but her favourite event was when she attended a trip to Germany for the Friendship Games. Typical of Wendy's enthusiasm, she stated that we didn't win, but the young people were fantastic and all the other teams wanted to be friends with them. They created a party atmosphere. Wendy still keeps in contact with the Mayor of Germany, I thought pronounced the town, and also the Mayor who was there for us to be here. Wendy was determined to stand her own personality in the role of the Chair, and I'm sure we will all agree that whether the occasion was formal, celebratory, or more recently a sad occasion, Wendy has done the borough proud as its ambassador. As I said at the beginning, I'm a ward colleague of Frank McNeese, and I've been delivering leaflets and letters for Frank's successful re-election. Although I did have a scary moment when listening to the results in Northumberland when they said the council had been won by looks. Finally, Wendy has had the great support of Frank as her consort, and they have recently moved back to North Shields, and I wish both of them a happy time in their new roles and their new home. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Johnson.
Thank you, Chair. When I second that, congratulations on your new role, and to Secretary as well. When I seconded Wendy's nomination, Richard said she'd be a chair like no other, and at the time, I don't really realise how much like a chair like no other. Chair meetings online, an extra year, and I've awarded Wendy continues to be the only chair that contact meetings online for. Wendy has been a fantastic chair of this borough. She has been fair and firm in her council judgments all the way through, and it's been great to see how she's been growing the role through the years, getting stronger and stronger all the way through. At Wendy Stewart Village Hotel, as one of my personal highlights of Wendy's chairmanship, Wendy lost her shoes at the end of the night and had to dig it out and really the table for Wendy because it was going to be there. And that's why I said Wendy be a chair like no other. And she has been a fantastic chair and a great ambassador for other people. I know lots and lots of people think that. So thank you, Wendy.
Thank you, Councillor Johnson. Any other leaders of the Liberal who would like to speak? I'll just like to say thank you again to Wendy. She's been absolutely amazing. She's been great to work with, great colleague. It's difficult to see on the other side. Move on to item agenda number 4, apologies for absence.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for those kind words. Not often people say kind things about me. Anyway, elected mayor, newly elected chairman, deputy chair, councillors and officers. I would like to thank this council chamber for appointing me and giving me the honour of representing the council as chair. Many years ago, I stood for council as what people know as a paper candidate. To help make the numbers up, so to speak, with no real expectation of being elected. Anyway, I arrived at the count and I started looking at the table and I seen these piles of votes for me, and I said to Frank, you'll have to do something about this because I'm not going to be a councillor. Anyway, he did. He persuaded me in the following year to stand for council. Because he said, you've always got something to say, so why don't you stand as a councillor? And I haven't got a clue what he means about that. Anyway, so here we are there. Representing the council as civic head is an appointment which offers the opportunity to go out into the community and experience firsthand the project, services, voluntary activity that exists in North Tyneside. The strength of our borough and its communities was really shown during the Spirit of the North Tyneside programme. The last year has been totally unprecedented time for us all. We have collectively been thrown into the unknown and a new way of life. I find myself quite overwhelmed reading how we as a community and individuals have supported each other and come together in a time of need. So not only am I proud to represent people in this borough, I'm proud to be part of it. I've met some wonderful people during my time as chair and had the honour of attending some fantastic events such as the Friendship Games, several 100th birthday celebrations, the Queen's Garden Party, Showman's Guild, Wallsend Boys Club Annual Awards, the Scouts Gang Show and their AGM, numerous citizenship ceremonies, dozens and dozens of charity events across the North East and further afield. The Poppy Appeal and more poignantly, the Lane of Remembrance Day services and Workers' Memorial Day stand out amongst my favourite events. These are but a few of the events and celebrations which I've attended. I've also been impressed with the young people of the borough and the dedication and commitment from them at such young ages. Their achievements are remarkable, from swimming and dancing to volunteering and fundraising. they are second to none. In my first year, I had two charities, the Great North Air Ambulance and Operation Veteran, and both received in excess of £8,500 each in the first year, which allowed Operation Veteran to secure a lease on a property on Niles Street in North Shields. So during this last year, when the opportunity for raising funds for charity has been severely curtailed, Operation Veteran has been the sole benefactor to the tune of a further £6,000, which they don't know about yet. I have to commend the work of this charity, having visited them on a number of occasions and heard firsthand how the project has helped them serve veterans to adjust to a living in Civil Street after some of the life-changing experiences they've had after serving their country. I could go on, I usually do, but we've been asked to keep speeches to a minimum, so I would like to thank Bryn Roberts, Dave Brown, Paul Wheeler, all the Democratic and Legal Services team who have supported me in council meetings, and last but certainly not least, Ashley Willis, whose organisational skills are truly amazing. I thank you all. I'd like to thank John Milford and Steve Woodhouse, who made sure I arrived safely and on time to our civic engagements across the north of England. I am grateful for all the support I have received. It has been an opportunity I never thought that someone like me could have had achieved. An experience I thoroughly enjoyed, and it has been one I definitely won't forget. Finally, can I conclude by wishing Councillor David Drummond and his lovely wife Julie all the very best for the future, and Councillor Oliver and her consort all the very best in your terms of office. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Wendy. Move on to agenda number 4. Apologies for absence being received by Paul Richardson and Councillor Kath Taylor. Is there any more apologies? I've got apologies, Kath Taylor and Paul Richardson. I've also got Jim Allen, Maureen Madden and Tommy Mulder. Thank you. Item agenda number 5, declarations of interest and dispensations. Can I remind members, if they have registered or non-registered interest in matters appearing on the agenda and the nature of the interest, they must clearly declare in respect of any items of business to be discussed at this meeting and the nature of such interests. You are also invited to discuss any dispensations from the requirements. Declare that any registered or non-registered interests that have been granted to you in respect of any matters appearing on the agenda. Does anybody have any declarations of interest? Thank you. Agenda number 6, minutes of the last meeting. Can I ask Council to confirm the minutes of the meeting held on the 18th of March 2021? Thank you. Agenda number 7, municipal elections to May the 6th, 2021. Can I ask Council to receive the return of the councillors following the elections held on the 6th of May 2021, which is attached to the council agenda. Can I congratulate and welcome all those councillors who are newly elected and those who will be re-elected. Details of the cabinet members and portfolios for 2021-2022 together with the details of the mayor's scheme declarations to the cabinet members have been circulated to members with the agenda papers. I would now like to invite the elected mayor, Norma Redfern, to address the council.
Thank you very much, and congratulations to you and your consort, and Councillor Oliver. You'll be fantastic ambassadors of all concerned. I'm just going to read out the members of the new cabinet, but first of all, I just want to say, as the mayor, how much I'm going to miss Ray Linden. He was a fantastic person in our cabinet. Looked after our finances remarkably well and made sure we kept on board and everything was legal. He didn't fall off the cliff, so he's going to be a great miss, and I have to say that to him. I also, at the same time, while we dealt with the new cabinet, would like to pay tribute to 3 cabinet members who have asked to step down and did not ask to be considered for the new cabinet. And I want to say thank you to Councillor Hall, Councillor Bell, and Councillor Pickard. They were absolutely fantastic in our cabinet. They worked extremely hard and they delivered. So thank you very much for your help. It was much appreciated. I would now like to read out the members of the new cabinet. Along with myself, there will be Councillor Carl Johnson, who will be the Deputy Mayor, and I think you know all the things that will be responsible for in the minutes there. Councillor Mark Rankin, who will be responsible for finance and resources, and he has great respect for Rachel. Thank you very much. Councillor Anthony Martin, who is going to be cabinet member responsible for adult social care. Councillor Sarah Day, who will be member for Culture, Sport and Leisure. Councillor Karen Clark, who will be cabinet member for Public Health and Wellbeing. Councillor Steve Cox, cabinet member for Housing. Councillor Sandra Green, responsible for Environment and our Food Agenda. Councillor Carol Burgess, cabinet member for Community Safety and Public Protection. And Councillor Peter Early, cabinet member responsible for children, young people and learning. And there's much more I want to say, but I will be saying at the end of the meeting when I come back with the certain announcements. So thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Mayor. We've got every agenda number here, the leaders of the political groups. Can I ask the names of the leaders of each political group to be announced? Could I have the leader of the Conservative group, please?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Councillor Sean.
Thank you. Could I have the leader of the Labour group, please?
Ben O'Rourke.
Thank you. And we're going to agenda number 10. Can I ask for the name of the deputy leader of each political group? Could I ask for the leader of the Conservative group, please? Deputy leader, sorry.
Councillor George Westwater.
Thank you. Could I ask for the leader of the deputy leader of the Labour group, please?
Yes, Chair, and congratulations on your appointment. Our deputy leader would be Carl Johnson.
Thank you. I'm going to item agenda number 11, the annual review of the Constitution. And I invite Councillor Francois to move the recommendations to set out.
Thank you, Chair. Firstly, congratulations on your appointment as Chair of the Council. I hope you have a successful time, but I sincerely hope that your tenure is only half as long as Wendy's. The Constitution Task Group has carried out an annual review of the main Constitution and associated documents. The proposed changes that are being put forward for Council's consideration as part of this year's review are set out in the papers. This report contains recommendations on proposed amendments to the Constitution in relation to the financial regulations and some changes to the Officer Delegation Scheme. The Chief Finance Officer has a duty to ensure that financial regulations are developed and kept up to date. The financial regulations have been reviewed to reflect organisational changes, changes in personnel and legislative changes that have occurred since the previous version was approved back in 2013. The key changes to the Officer's Delegation Scheme comprise, firstly, statutory duties to provide support for people vulnerable to being drawn into terrorism through a local panel, and to have due regard to the need to prevent people from being drawn into terrorism. And secondly, the new environmental protection enforcement duty in relation to plastic straws,
cotton buds and stirrers don't ever doubt that the Constitution Task Force is anything but interesting, from terrorism to cotton buds. 2 weeks ago, I'd like to thank the members of the Constitution Task Group for their work on the annual review, and I would like to move the recommendation in paragraph 1.2 of the report. The Council approve the proposed changes to the financial regulations and the officer delegation scheme, and refer those changes to the elected Mayor for her consent. So, move the recommendation.
Thank you, Councillor. The second. On my second, Chairman, is that right to speak?
Any questions? We'll now go to the vote. Is there any questions? All those in favour? That's unanimous, Chair. Thank you. Move on to the next. Agenda number 12. Annual appointment. Can I invite Councillor Carl Johnson to move his recommendation?
Thank you, Chair. This report from the Council will the appointment of various committees and subcommittees for the 2021-22 municipal year. The allocation of seats and privileges to these committees and subcommittees, the appointment of chairs and deputies of committees and subcommittees, and the appointment of corporate members on the audit committee, and finally the appointment of representatives to serve on non-executive outside bodies. I'd like to move to the Council that the appointment of various committees and subcommittees for the municipal year and a number of seats on each committee or subcommittee, which is not a subcommittee, set out in section 1.5.1.1 of the report, approve the allocation of seats on these committees as set in Appendix 1 of the report, and agree the head of law and governance to be informed of nominations to those committees by 12 noon tomorrow. They agree to appoint the chairs and deputy chairs of committees and subcommittees nominated by the Labour Group as circulated at the meeting. Approve the appointment of Mr Kevin Robinson and Mr Martin Wilkinson as the two corporate members of the Audit Committee for a further 2-year period. Note the appointment of Reverend Michael Vine, Church of England Diocese representative, and Stephen Fallon as the Roman Catholic representative on the Voting and Scrutiny and Policy Development Committees. Note the elected Mayor will appoint at least one councillor on the Health and Wellbeing Board for the 2021-22 municipal year, and we agree the appointment of representatives to serve on non-executive outside bodies nominated by the Labour Group as circulated at the meeting. Thank you, Councillor Johnson. Do I have a seconder?
Yes, Chair, thank you. I'll second that.
Thank you. Any members wish to speak to the motion? I'll move on to the vote. All in favour? All those against? Any abstentions? Thank you. And I'll move on item number 13, report of the Scrutiny 2021. I'd like to invite the Chair of the Scrutiny Committee and Policy Development Committee, Councillor Samuel Graham, to present the report.
Thank you, Chair. Warm congratulations on your appointment as Chair and to Councillor Representative Chair. I'm pleased to introduce the overview Scrutiny Annual Report for 2020-2021. This report provides a summary of the work of the Overview Scrutiny and Policy Development Committee and its subcommittees during 2020-2021. This has not been a normal year for anyone due to the pandemic. Scrutiny members, along with all members and officers of the authority, have had to quickly adapt to new ways of working, including a move to virtual and live stream meetings. Over the year, Scrutiny has played an important role in scrutinising the response of the local authority to the pandemic, whilst it was happening in real time. It's the right thing to do, as well as reflecting the views of local residents in relation to the public health crisis and the continued provision of essential services across the borough. As Chair of the Overview Scrutiny and Policy Development Committee during 2020-2021, I'd like to thank all of the members, co-opted members, officers and representatives of our partner organisations for their support and contributions to the scrutiny process over the past year. And as I leave this post, I would particularly like to thank Paul Wheeler from Democratic Services for his continuing support and attention to detail during the committee and scrutiny reviews. Councillors were recommended to note the annual report.
Councillor Graham, is there any questions? Sorry, yes, any questions? Any members who wish to speak to the report? Thank you, Councillor Graham, for the report. I'll now move on to agenda number 14, Standards Committee annual report. I'd like to invite the Chair of the Standards Committee to the 2019-2020, 2022-2021, Councillor Mark Barron, to present the report.
Thank you, Chair. Congratulations to you and the Deputy Chair for your appointment. I do hope that you and the respective council to enjoy the year of our notice very much hard work as well. The Standards Committee has prepared an annual report for the 2020-2021 municipal year. The report sets out the work undertaken by the Standards Committee and its subcommittee over the year. The work of the committee has been reduced over the last year due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. The committee met on 2 occasions in 2020-2021. The Standards Subcommittee met on 1 occasion to consider applications for dispensations under the Code of Conduct. The committee will consider its work programme for 2021 to 2022 at its first meeting of the new municipal year in June 2021. The annual report was considered by the Standards Committee at its meeting on the 8th of April 2021. It was referred to the Council for information and the Council was recommended to note and receive it. Due to the pandemic, the Standards Committee annual report for 2019-20 could not be submitted to annual council in May of last year. This report is therefore submitted to this meeting alongside the annual report for 2020-2021. Thank you, Chair.
Is there any questions? Does any members wish to speak on the report? Thank you, Councillor Allen, for the report. Now move on to agenda number 15, Mr. Chairman. Just going to keep it short. I'd like to congratulate everybody who was re-elected, and all those new members, and everybody else in appointments to the council. I would say that highlight the 2 charities I've chosen. One charity is close to home, base, will be sports. One charity out of sports is the charity in our ward, and the other one will be Joshua at Ben. Thank you. I'll go on my agenda number 16, which is the mayor's announcements.
First of all, I'd like to start by congratulating both of our members who recently been elected or were re-elected to this council on the 6th of May. And of course, I've noticed today that 2 former members of the council have returned, so you're welcome to the people. I'm delighted that our residents have put their trust in you by giving you their vote. Speaking of which, can I say how honoured I personally am to be re-elected for a 3rd term, especially with that increased majority. And I want to assure you that many people contributed to that success. First of all, my campaign member, editor, and the campaign team, and all the councillors that are out there working in their wards. Thank you so much indeed. I'm really proud, and I think all of you should be in a fantastic Labour victory, North and South. Well done, thank you. I promise we will continue to be a listening council that puts our residents and the places in which they live and work at the heart of our decision making. I would like to take this opportunity to thank a number of people. Firstly, to our retiring Chair of Council, Councillor Wendy Lott, and of course, their Councillor, Councillor Frank Ross, for all their hard work over the last 2 years. And they've had to work through some very difficult times, and some very difficult circumstances. And they came through with flying colours. Thank you so much indeed. I also would like you to be aware that despite the problems they've had to deal with, they've continued continue to raise a great deal of money for their charities, so well done. I think it's important to thank our hard-working employees, many of whom have put their lives at risk over this last year to save people, to keep this council going, delivering the essential services. I think we owe them a great deal. And the more many of them I've met have done it with a smile on their face. Congratulations to them for being so successful. Thank you so very, very much indeed. I would also like to thank our Chief Executive, the Strategic Leadership Team, and those that have been on the front delivering the service, because dealing with COVID-19 emergency has been extremely difficult and a very, very busy time for us all. And I'm not silly, some of you might think so, but I'm not. Because I know for a fact that to be successful, you need a team of officers who are going to deliver for you, who's going to deliver your promises. And thanks to them for doing that too. We have much to be proud of. There's no doubt that during this time our teams have continued to look after our residents in our borough, none of which would have been possible without their dedication and hard work. I have to keep saying that, reminding myself and reminding them how much they are appreciated. I'd like to offer my sincere thanks to you all for your support, particularly the support you've given to our most vulnerable residents, and that goes to those who came forward to be volunteers, and they too risk their lives. People in North Tyneside are amazing when anything drastic happens, dreadful happens when there's a crisis, to come together with one important goal, to do the best for the people, our residents here in North Tyneside. I would like to also say to Davy, Councillor Drummond and the Councillor Pastor that we have a great time. I know you will enjoy this year. And you never know, it might go on and on the way things are going. Thank you so much. As we move into the new council year and hopefully start to recover from this dreadful pandemic, I am more determined than ever that my cabinet and the wider council can build on our achievements and deliver the things that really matter to our residents. Our ambitious regeneration plans will continue. We will deliver on the green agenda, create more jobs. We will be addressing inequalities that have gone wider in this borough over the last year. We look after the elderly and we look after our young people too and our young children. But we will work together to do that. Details of the current cabinet portfolios are around and you can look at them and study them. But I would like to take this opportunity once again to say thank you to our entire cabinet members who were appreciated and your leaders. To my councillors, our Labour councillors who have been working very hard on their awards, thank you too. Some of our success is due to your work. Some of my success is due to your hard work too. I know with the support of the council we can make our ambitious plans and the vision for North Tynes a reality, and I truly believe that if we work together. I do hope that you will all continue to support our plans in the year ahead. Thank you once again, most sincerely, much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexa. That concludes the meeting for this evening. Thank you for your attendance. I'd just like to thank all the officers who pulled out the stops to make this meeting possible tonight. Thank you.